What's going on, guys? Geeky Ghost Guy here, and welcome to this WWE Survivor Series War Games review video. So this show has gotten a lot of mixed reviews across social media. Some people loved it, some people hated it, some people were just indifferent. So my question to you guys watching the video, listening along, let me know in the comment section, what did you guys think of the show? How would you rate it from a scale from 1 to 10, or however you rate things? That's your prerogative. Um, what was your favorite match? What was your least favorite match? High points, low points, everything in between. Let me know, guys. I have a couple of different feelings about it, so let's go. Let's get into it, and we'll discuss. All right. So the show started off with the women's War Games match. My feelings on it. It was a bit chaotic. There was some botches, but I mean, I'm not gonna hold that against them. I see some review videos and people talking about it online. They're talking about the botches, and there wasn't that many. I mean, they were there, but in this type of match, I don't hold it against the performers. I mean, they did their thing. The women's War Games match to me was it was good. I liked it. It was really good. There was a bit of storytelling. I know some people were going in expecting a heel turn from Alexa Bliss. Um, they thought she was going to turn on Bianca and co due to some sort of Bray Wyatt or Uncle Howdy brainwash stipulation or whatever. We didn't see any of that. There were some people saying that Alexa kind of looked off or like misplaced, like especially in the finish, she wasn't really cheering with her team after winning. Um, she only like gave like a half smile, but that could have been maybe she was hurt, maybe we don't know. Like, again, this type of match, there was definitely some weapons being used. There were some high spots. There was a lot going on. But we had the Alexa Nikki altercation or interactions, possibly leading to a match in the future. I'm definitely down with that, because we remember that Alexa actually turned on Nikki. They were the tag team champions at one point, and Alexa actually turned on Nikki Cross when Alexa turned dark. And Nikki remembers. So she tried to handcuff her to the cage at one point, or the ropes. Obviously that didn't work out. Um, Becky had a really good high spot. She did a leg drop through the tables. Um, Alexa, not Alexa, I'm sorry, Asuka hit Rhea Ripley with the poison mist, uh, possibly leading up. Well, I don't know about leading up to a match in the future. We've already had that, um, but that did protect Rhea Ripley for from losing. Well, she didn't technically lose, it was her team that lost, but it did, protect her from looking weak or whatnot. Um, then, this match was really about ending the feud, hopefully ending the feud between Bayley and Bianca Belair. Maybe we can move on from that. Um, and then also really Becky Lynch's return. That was the main story. A lot of people were upset that there was no Uncle Howdy screen interference or Bray Wyatt or anything like that. It wasn't really about that. We've got plenty of time for that to happen in the future if they decide to go that route. So this match was really storytelling from ending the Bianca and Bayley feud, and also Becky Lynch's return, because that has been going on, in my opinion, far too long already. I mean, we've already had, plenty of Raw Women's Championship matches between Bianca and Bayley. I think there was only two. But, be that as it may, it's time to move on, move forward. And so, ending outcome, Team Bianca, they went over, they won the match. I would give that match a good 3.5 out of 5. Like I said, solid match. It was a bit chaotic. I'm not really into the War Games matches. Some people are, and I totally understand why. Um, but the rules of the match, if I remember correctly, you have 5 on 5, and it starts out with 1 on 1, And then, this past week they had the matches for the advantage, which, whose team would come out next, like whose member would come out next. And so one after another, every 5 minutes, I believe they wrestled for, or they fought for 5 minutes, and then someone from another team would come in, and then it would essentially be 2-on-1, and then I think it went down to 3 minutes, if I'm not mistaken, and then it would be even again, 2-on-2, then 3-on-2, and so on, until all five members of each team were in the ring together, and then the match would officially start. It's like, almost like, why did I just watch all of this? Because this match from start to finish, when the one-on-one was every bit of 45 minutes long, and the match itself was maybe 10-15 minutes, give or take. um but I'm not really into those type of matches. Those that are, totally understand. And if you're into all the weapons and the cages and just chaos, this is right up your alley. And I totally understand it and get it. Me, I think I would prefer, a traditional Survivor Series match, 5-on-5, or yeah, 5-on-5 elimination. This one was, like I said, you start off, and then once all five members of each team are in the ring, then the bell rings, and then it's time to start the match. And then the match is over when there's a pinfall or submission. Uh, Cage escapes do not count, but it was a pinfall or submission, no elimination. Once one pinfall, that team wins. But moving on, we got Finn Balor versus AJ Styles, and I honestly, going into this, thought that this was going to be the match of the night. We remember their first fight or first match in WWE. That, of course, they wrestled, or they had some other matches in Japan, but their first match, or their only other match in WWE, was back in 2017 at TLC. And I actually really liked that match. I thought that was a really good match. It wasn't the 5-star match that I believe that these two could have put on, and neither was this. I don't know why they didn't do a 3-on-3 tag, a 6-man tag match with just the OC versus Judgment Day. But they just went 1-on-1. Both of these guys have the ability to put on a 5-star match together, because they are in my opinion, two of the best performers in wrestling today. I mean, both of these guys are at the top of their game. But of course, we had the shenanigans. Not really shenanigans. There was a brawl on the outside between the OC and Judgment Day. But then they just kind of went into the crowd and left the arena, and they didn't interfere in the match at all, in the finish. But, overall, it was a good match. They had their spots, and then AJ won with a phenomenal forearm. That was it. I would give it a solid 4. It was good. Could have been better. Could have been worse. It was fine. Then, moving on, we've got Shotzi versus Ronda Rousey for the SmackDown Women's Championship. This was meh. Going in, we knew what to expect. I will say this, though. Shotzi has definitely improved in the ring, but this match ultimately fell short. They had a cool spot where both ladies went over the guardrail into some fans that were obviously planted by WWE in the front row. That was a really cool spot. Other than that, there were botches. We knew what to expect going into this. Like I said, Ronda won. No one's surprised. Unfortunately, I would love to see Shotzi get a title shot or a title run at some point. She's definitely improved in the ring. She's a really good performer, but this just wasn't it. So nothing really more to say about that. Next up, we have the triple threat, Bobby Lashley, Austin Theory versus the United States champion, Seth Rollins. This was an absolute banger. It wasn't your typical triple threat where you'd have two guys going wrestling, and while the third guy's kind of resting on the apron or outside or something like that, and then they would switch it up and let someone else get a breather. There was total nonstop. All three guys were in the ring at the same time. um, going left and right. It was just nonstop action, and it was an awesome finish, leading to Austin Theory winning the United States Championship. Which the match was my match of the night. I would give this match a definite 4.5 out of 5. Um, but it's a bit confusing because leading into this match, leading into Survivor Series, Austin Theory was the United States champion before when he was, and he also had he had Money in the Bank, and he was I believe, the youngest United States champion, and he had Money in the Bank, and this was after Seth Rollins was already champion. Austin Theory he tried to cash in the Money in the Bank on Roman on 2 separate occasions, and never was able to successfully cash in. But he finally cashed in his Money in the Bank contract on Seth Rollins for the United States Championship and failed. So then we have, Austin Theory repackaged, new aggressive persona. No more selfies, no more ego trips. I'm really digging this new Austin Theory. We have Bobby Lashley, which is just a monster, and then Seth Rollins, which is one of the best wrestlers today. So going into this match, this on paper would have been, it's great. I just wasn't expecting it to be as good as it was. But to me, match of the night. A lot of people will say, or will talk about when Austin Theory was making his way to the ring. I hope this was a botch on WWE's part. They, for whatever reason, had a Beyblades advertisement on the Titantron while Theory was making his way down to the ring. I hope that's not something we're gonna see in the future going forward, because we really don't need that. They already have loads of advertisement sprinkled throughout every show. We don't need anything on the Tron while the superstars are making their way to the ring. But yeah, Austin Theory is your new United States champion, and like I was saying, I don't understand the booking. So why have him fail the cash in only to regain it um, a month or so later, or actually win the United States Championship a month or so later? Weird booking overall. Happy with the outcome. Seth is already established. He is, former Universal Champion, former WWE Champion. I mean, he's been there and done it all. Lashley, former World Champion. He's established. He didn't necessarily need the United States Champion. I think this is a really good uh, start for Austin Theory to start regaining some momentum. So Austin Theory wins. I will give that match 4.5. Then we have the men's War Games match. Storytelling wise, this was the match for the best storytelling. Sprinkled throughout the show, well, not really sprinkled, we had 2 backstage segments. Earlier in the night, we had one where Jey Uso and Roman Reigns were in the backstage area in the locker room, and Jay was talking about how I knew from day one we couldn't trust Sami Zayn. Uh, you saw it too. I've been telling you this, and we can't trust him. And basically talking about how he was talking to Kevin Owens, and yada yada yada. And Roman just looks at him and says, I'm gonna talk to him. I'm gonna look him in his eye, man to man, and I'm gonna ask him where his loyalty lies, and I'll know if he's telling the truth. And so Jay gets up, leaves, and Roman says to Paul Heyman, "Give me Sami Zayn." And then before, I believe it was before the triple threat match, um, we had another locker room segment where Sami Zayn is in the Bloodline locker room. He's talking to Roman. He's pleading his case because Roman's asking him, "Did you talk to KO?" And Sammy's like, "Yeah, I did. I spoke with him.
Sorry guys, my audio got cut off. So Roman asks Sammy, why did you lie to Jay? And Sammy comes up with a really good excuse or a reason. He says that I didn't want Jay's head to get out of the game. He had a really important match. The match was for the advantage in the War Games match tomorrow night. And so I just didn't want any more interference, any more distractions. And, I didn't want to get in his head, or I didn't want any more seeds of deception to be planted. And I mean, I thought it was a really good excuse. So, the match starts. The men's War Games match starts. It starts off with Jey Uso and Butch in the ring. Uh, Butch starts targeting the injured right arm of Jey. Um, then Ridge Holland comes in. He's the next man in. Then it's a 2-on-1. Jay's getting beat down. Then when it's time for the next member of the bloodline to come in, Jimmy starts coming out, and Roman stops him. And he's like, no. And he points to Sammy, points out, sends Sammy in, so to force them to work together, and then also to see where Sammy's, I guess, his allegiances lie. Sammy comes in, tries to work with Jay. Jay's resisting, telling him to get away from me. He's not wanting to work with Sammy. And so Sammy pulls Jay out of harm's way, saves him a couple of times. Fast forward, all five men from both teams are in the match, or in the ring. Match officially starts. Really good match. Like I said, a lot of storytelling in this match. And it comes down to the finish. KO stuns Roman, gives him the stunner, has the match seemingly won, goes to pin. 1, 2, Sammy lunges in, stops the referee's hand, and stops the 3 count. They look at each other, and KO's like, are you serious? What's going on right now? Really? This is your family? Are you doing this? Are you serious? This is your family now? And Sammy's, yeah, this is my family. We're family. I'm bloodline. Jimmy comes across, tries to super kick KO. KO catches his leg, and right then Sammy drops, gives KO a low blow, kneels down before Roman. Roman looks at him, nods his head yes. Sammy hits KO with an Aluva kick, offering KO to Jay. Jay delivers a splash, gets the pin. 1, 2, 3, bloodline win. And it was really awesome to see Roman embracing Sammy. Sammy finally proves his loyalty, his allegiance. And what was really awesome was seeing Jay finally accepting Sammy, embracing Sammy himself. They're hugging it out. Overall, really good match. Love the storytelling. Still could do away with the War Games. I would rather it just been maybe a 5-on-5, but it would have been hard to tell the story. I mean, I guess you could have Sammy being the last member, but then you would have to have Roman eliminated, and it would have been a thing. So the storytelling played out very well for this type of match. So overall, guys, I give Survivor Series War Games a solid 7.5 out of 10. Being one of the big 4 pay-per-views with Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, I feel like it fell short. I could do without any more War Games Survivor Series. If they decide to do it again, whatever. I mean, I'd still watch it. But I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments down below. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Indifferent? What was your score? And also, if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. So go ahead, like, share, subscribe, comment, And until next time, guys, peace.